uongeze volume. The difference is
nataka iwe kubwa.
Aeroplane
Nataka namuona
the aerodynamics. An aircraft is anything takes advantage of the air. If you make a kite, a paper kite, in the air it's an aircraft. That's the difference. I would like to take you just through the parts, the external parts. They are not actually services of an aircraft. And you have questions. Normally, an aircraft has one door, except for the emergency. You enter only one door, the pilots and the passengers. Pilots, we had a pilot, the boat leave, then we get to the cockpit. I've already started training in terms of the way it is apportioned. We start, it's normally the parts and their work. How it takes off, how an aircraft takes off. There's a principle.
Kwa jua linamwangazia si kama serikali pande.
From back there, you can start from the far end there. This thing here, I think this one has been called actually an elevator. You can see the wires there. It's controlled electrically from the cockpit. It's called the elevator. The elevator. But before I get to that, the aircraft has 3 movements. There is the pitch, up and down. The head moves up and down, or the tail moves up and down. That is the pitch. There is what we call the roll. You have seen an aircraft moving like this, wing up. That is the roll. And there is what we call the yaw, like gata, the yawing. All those movements are effected through the service. Now, if we start here, the far end, there is a piece that is actually lacking here, the elevator. When an aircraft like this one is in auction, they remove that because the most basic part. This other part is just kind of the aerofoil, the shape that helps the air reactions. So that elevator is controlled from the cockpit, and if an aircraft is landing or taking off, the pilot, there is an angle that he sets it so that the wind blows. It's actually all the pressures that lift up an aircraft. The wind blows, then they get this elevator, like maybe it's out at an angle. So when the wind blows and blows that service, the force, there is a lot of force, and it lifts it up like this. So when you want that aircraft to go down, to pitch down, he changes the way this elevator moves like this. When the aircraft wants to be lifted, is to lift up, it blocks the wind that hits it until now it hits this place, then the head pitches up. That is the elevators. Both the parts are missing here, but I think the one who auctioned it maybe was left with that part. There is another part here called the rudder. It's also lacking. The rudder controls that movement I call yaw. If the pilot wants to go this way, he puts that rudder this way so that the wind blows it. By the way, the wheels of the aircraft, of an airplane, are not powered. They are rollers. They're just rollers. The thrust is got from the engine, and now when you want to turn, apparently the rudder is controlled through by feet. The pilot places one this side, then the rudder goes this way. It gets out. The wind comes and blows this end when the aircraft is loading. When it's on thrust, and when it's on thrust, especially there, very, very light. Just the way you can put a huge load on water, and you can just be whole thing is like this, and maybe the ton or so many kilos, but it will be very, very light. When aircraft is in the air, it's a vessel, aircraft, airtight vessel, and any other reaction outside the service, outside of it, has a lot of effects. So you see now, like what these jet fighters do, what they do is just a drastic move that they do, where they want to get that aircraft to just yo like this, so fast. They just pull it fast. The thrust from the engines are so much, so strong, and the twist is just the service that those reactions are on. That is the rudder. It helps in the yawing, controls the yawing, going to the right, going to the left. The elevator, going up or going down. Here we go. This is what we call the bigger body is called the fuselage. Fuselage. This is just the body of the.
There's another cloud in this side. Mawaski.
Komski. These are just supporters, and supporters in the sense that if you look at this, the shaping of anything on an aircraft, it's called the aeroplane. You remember your visit, the aeroplane. Something that the air moves over it. The pressure difference lifts what is the pressure. The pressure up there gets lower than the pressure below. So the aircraft just that's. I wish we had a bed it here. If you blow the air here, you provide a difference of pressure from here to here. You blow it, you see the paper lifts up. Very, very easy principle. Yes, yeah, you place a vacuum there. You get a vacuum here, and a vacuum doesn't really exist. It's always air fills it up, and that's what an aircraft takes advantage of. Those tons of pop, they go continuously creating a vacuum, and that vacuum now the aircraft goes filling it all through. Yes, the air cannot, the vacuum cannot exist just like so. It goes filling up, and that was putting on and on until it generates nautical miles per minute or per hour, the speed that is. So that's the fuselage. This is the underbelly kind of fuselage. The end of it is also called the fuselage. Those things you see there, like sticks, those are areas. Those are communication areas. Most flights, the PHA, very high frequency. When an aircraft in the air, they fly from one area to another. There are zones. Like if I may take an example in Kenya, airspace is subdivided into three zones. There is area, and that is under the area control zone, and all of them are at Jomo Kenyatta. If you see that tower building, those areas are there, those offices are there. Area control zone, it has the control of an aircraft, any aircraft inside Kenya, within the Kenyan border. Then, when he takes it from the border of the country. They have marked them. That an aircraft getting into Kenya, the pilot will know, because all along he will fly navigated. He gets from Sudan, and they have names. They have navigational names. When an aircraft gets into Kenya from Sudan, the entry point, like now for example, we call it Antax. Antax. Just given a name, but there is an opening on it. So when and how they know it by coordinates. There are some other areas, entry points, and they are compulsory report points. Because if you are entering from Sudan into Kenya, you have to tell the area controller you have entered Kenya. And the radar also will have spotted you. But before the radar spots you, you have given your estimates all the way from Khartoum. The Khartoum you have passed your information. It's estimating the flight information boundary at this particular time. And that point you enter into Kenya has a name. Like I'm giving an example. From Sudan into Kenya, there is a point called Antax. It is a compulsory report point. You must report it. If it's not at the coordinates, there is what we call a beacon, a communication beacon. That one you see it responding. as a pilot flies in, he has charts. He looks at the chart and says, I'm entering Kenya through this track. This track, there are airways and they are named. This airway has this reporting point into Kenya. So he tunes that beacon. All the way, immediately he's released by Khartoum, he goes to his radio, tunes that frequency. And it will tell him there will be a deflector on. If you have gone to the cockpit, I don't think any one of you has ever had a chance of getting into the cockpit. There are so many indicators there. So every other indicator there has an instrument that is responds to. So he says, okay, I've entered, this is the frequency of this beacon. So you'll be at night, you're not seeing anything. But now when he gets to that beacon, overhead that beacon, it will tell him, now you are on Antax, you're entering Kenya. After that, he calls the flight, the area control center. And he's now guided, he's told your traffic, if there is any other traffic along, another aircraft along that route, they are separated with the flight levels, lateral or vertical, along an airway. So, we are on an aircraft or an aeroplane. This is a wing. A very important part because I was imagining if you have these services on a Datsun 1200, if you want your Datsun 1200 or your car to fly, if you put such services and you put one blade there in front, a propeller like this, that car will take off. As long as you have the services like this. So this one is called the iron. These are it's also removed. I don't know, they were removing this. The rope. And the aircraft goes, then, and it's no one control from the cockpit.
Joystick.
Joystick, yes. So when when he puts it, it's like, when he rolls, it's like this. This elevator, this iron, inatoka a certain degree. If you talk a certain degree, for it not to be drastic, especially the passenger flights. If it's out kidogo hivi, imagine, and the wind is blowing this way, and the other side is not out. You know, this side now, the air will work on this side and lift this side because the air is being blocked slightly. Not even, they normally go like 3 degrees. Very slight movement of an service. It has a very, very effective move on the whole structure. So he moves it out. He wants now to roll the other side to bank, yeah, it's called also banking. To roll on, to bank on the left side. He just gets out this iron out. Then the effect of there pushes up the aircraft, and the other side now base like this. When he's actually, maybe the runway is on this side and he's aligning this way, so he gets to that. And he combines that movement together with the rudder movement. So the other side, if you want to roll this way, he gets out the other side on the other iron on the other side. This one, the service that has been removed here is a kind of works like a brick. The brick. This one, what are we calling this thing? Iron. That's the iron. The one that controls the load and this one was called what? There's a one that is disappearing, but I don't know how to get it before we finish. This service now gets out. It's a part of the wing. It's part of the wing, and that acts like a brake. This one is actually moved when the pilot now is very sure that he's landing, and he needs to brake as much as as soon as possible, so that he can start just getting the momentum to go back to the taxi. So that one is a kind of acts like a brake. That is the helm. The one that controls the roll, the rudder that controls the pitch, the elevator the rudder that controls the yaw, and the elevator that controls the pitching. This is the engine. And this engine, as I say, this power, the engine power is never connected. On an aircraft, on an aeroplane, those wheels are just rollers. They roll from the thrust that is created by this. Now this engine, you call it a turboprop. It's a turbo and the propeller. consider this one has put the weight of the ceiling fan. Yes, but it's just the wind that is making it. So this is where the heat drives the legs of the thrust. And there are four movements on four forces that work on the aircraft. That is the gravity, the thrust, the drag, and the lift. Young men, the gravity, the thrust, the lift, and the drag. The one that you could be having a lot of air, head air, that drags. That one is the one that comes to up with the drag. Yes, you had the headwinds that was really bringing up a lot of dragging. Yeah. The gravity pulls it. So to maintain a certain flight level, the thrust has to be set, and the services also have to be locked so that the air movement will not affect, it will constantly affect that aircraft while in the air. Because a slight change, you have a very drastic change on the movement of the. So there is lift. Lift works against the gravity, or gravity works against the lift. That is now the engine has to create a thrust. The drag, the thrust also works against the drag. Those are the forces that work on the aircraft. So that's it. You see that who is studying aviation anyway?
Anybody studying aviation anywhere?
You see that small tube there? That is called the pitot tube. The one that's up there. That is not an area like this one. The pitot tube is for airspeed. It senses. If you have been watching these air accident investigations, there was one that they were saying a wasp built a nest, and that is what caused that accident. Because the indicator on the cockpit was hitting the long airspeed. So the pilot was just pulling. But a wing there, you can imagine that pressure, the entrance of that air has some resistance. You know, the pressure will be very high. So that will indicate, that will be translated to the airspeed in the cockpit. And now you're moving too high, but you're moving too slow, and it's getting a very high speed because that pressure is so much. It's going through that nest, until now the aircraft stalled, and there was an accident. They investigated until they saw a nest. Kale kawati kujenga ka nest ka mchanga, ilikuwa kamejenga hapo. So that is what caused the accident. Yeah, so that's it. That is the pitot tube for airspeed. This is the front landing gear. This is the main landing gear. An aircraft doesn't touch ground with the front landing gear. You can imagine all the weight on that part. So the weight is normally supposed to be felt by the tube. So that's why it lands there. With all these brakes out, with all the radar set, so that it doesn't land again. You release the radar, then it sweeps like, it can drastically move you off the landing. So that's it, and the whole of this aircraft is called, this is type called Donia. Yeah. Most of these aircraft. Fuel. Okay. Fuel, these are the tanks, the fuel tanks. These wings. And the tank, and this one is over Kuneko. Yes. Over tank, over wing tank. The nozzle is up there. Now, the last one now, the nose. Nose dive. This is a weather radar as well. Is a weather? A weather radar. It's what we use as a weather radar. That's why we say it's not radar. When the aircraft is down, the pilots want to destroy it. He sees you in front of this, and he switches it on. The power that this thing gets is the weather radar. It can You will not feel it, but it will have finished.
Heat or cool?
No, not heat. It's a wave.
Oh, wave.
Yes. So if it really gets far off, getting him, how is the weather? If it senses some thick clouds ahead there, you will see the cockpit. There is a screen for it. Whether it's turning red. Turning red, like with the for those who do aviation, you have studied, you really have a serious study in meteorology because you know what you're doing comfortably in the air. There are clouds known as cumulonimbus. They're the ones that causes rain, thunderstorms, lightning. So if it senses that, it gets back in the cockpit, and it paints your route red. So the pilot now will know. Let me try as much as possible to defeat this weather. Because if it gets to that turbulence, even the passengers will start hearing the turbulence. You will not be able to before you control it, and it will show you how big it is. This radar, it gets the signal out, gets you back there. The reading on the screen. This weather is dangerous, and you normally report that to the controller, so that you can change the flight level. You can request even a higher flight level or a lower flight level to escape that cloud. Again, there are so many instruments that are inside especially modern aircraft. And nowadays, not nowadays, any flight is under two rules. There is one we call visual flight rule and instrument flight rule. And the pilots are also rated like so. There is a pilot who has never been rated instruments. You cannot fly at night because night you must fly, or in bad weather you must fly instrument. Flight levels again. The visual flight rules gets to only 15,000 feet. Yeah. The other one above there is called instrument. Any question?
The wipers, how do you work?
No, the wipers are normally work, just the car wipers.
Yeah, let's now clap for Bwana Kiro, and I had
Ile fees walikuwa wamelipa ni ya mpaka hapo.
Yeah.
Let's go the other side.
Questions, Pastor, you just
Question in an email.
Yes, my good friends, you have heard from the experts explaining how the vehicle function. Every part of it he has explained. Good. Told you my channel. We will give you information. We will educate you. I will entertain you, and we will show the normal life here in Kenya, especially the men. They are very active, the men of our church, and you have seen, you have gone to many places, climbing in the mountains, going to goat eating, and now we have been here at Palm Breeze Hotel here in Kenol, and you have heard about the plane. Thank you, my good friends. That's the end of it about the plane. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll be happy. We are getting to afternoon or to the evening in Kenya. Some of you who are at night, maybe now it's the morning, it's dawn. We are going to wake up, my good friends. Those we started the morning with, we are also at the same time. Those who are ahead of us in time, they are in the evening, they are at night. Or wherever you are, my good friends, I greet you and I wish you all the best. And at appropriate time, I know you'll watch my video. Thank you so much for following me. I will not disappoint you because I'll give you the best information. I'm not acting, but I'll give you the real, and something that is authentic. Thank you, friend Kenol from Superhighway Estate, Ajuja, Kenya. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Good followers, good subscribers, and subscribers, all of you. I wish you all the best. Thank you and God bless.